Operation Mockingbird is an alleged large-scale program of the United States Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, that began in the early years of the Cold War and attempted to manipulate news media for propaganda purposes. It funded student and cultural organizations and magazines as front organizations. According to author Deborah Davis, Operation Mockingbird recruited leading American journalists into a propaganda network and influenced the operations of front groups. CIA support of front groups was exposed when a 1967 Ramparts magazine article reported that the National Student Association received funding from the CIA. In 1975, Church Committee congressional investigations revealed agency connections with journalists and civic groups. None of the reports, however, mentions by name an Operation Mockingbird coordinating or supporting these activities. Let's see, what is a front organization? A front organization is any entity set up by and controlled by another organization, such as intelligence agencies, organized crime groups, band organizations, religious or political groups, advocacy groups, or corporations. Front organizations can act for the parent group without the actions being attributed to the parent group, thereby allowing them to hide from public view. Front organizations that appear to be independent, voluntary associations, or charitable organizations are called front groups. In the business world, front organizations, such as front companies or shell corporations, are used to shield the parent company from legal liability. In international relations, a puppet state is a state which acts as a front or surrogate for another state. Intelligence agencies use front organizations to provide cover, plausible occupations, and means of income for their covert agents. These may include legitimate organizations such as charity, religious, or journalism organizations, or brass plate firms, which exist solely to provide a plausible background story, occupation, and means of income. What? In espionage, operatives under non-official cover, NOC, are operatives who assume covert roles in organizations without official ties to the government for which they work. This is in contrast to an operative with official cover, where they assume a position in their government, such as the diplomatic service, which provides them with diplomatic immunity if their espionage activities are discovered. Operatives under non-official cover do not have this safety net, and if captured and charged as spies, are subject to severe criminal punishments, up to and including execution. I'm scared. Operatives under non-official cover are also usually trained to deny any connection with their government, thus preserving plausible deniability, but also denying them any hope of diplomatic legal assistance or official acknowledgement of their service. Such an operative or agent may be referred to as a NOC or as an illegal, clandestine, human operational techniques. Sometimes entire front companies or straw man entities are established in order to provide false identities for agents. This is weird. An agent sent to spy on a foreign country might, for instance, work as a business person, a worker for a nonprofit organization, such as a humanitarian group, or as an academic. For example, The CIA's Ishmael Jones spent nearly 2 decades as an NOC. Ishmael Jones, born 15th of December 1960, is the pseudonym used by a former CIA officer. He resigned from the C_A and became a leading proponent for American intelligence reform, with special emphasis on the improvement of human source intelligence. He resigned from the C_A and became a leading proponent of American intelligence reform, with special emphasis on the improvement of human source intelligence collection, HUMINT. He is a former deep cover case officer or clandestine officer for the C_A. He is the author of the book, The Human Factor Inside the C_A's Dysfunctional Intelligence Culture, and many articles on intelligence reform, and he's boring me, so. Many of the agents memorialized without names or dates of service on the CIA memorial wall are assumed to have been killed or executed in a foreign country while serving as NOC agents. In nations with established and well-developed spy agencies, the majority of captured non-native NOC agents have, however, historically been repatriated through prisoner exchanges for other captured NOCs as a form of gentleman's agreement. The degree of sophistication put into non-official cover stories varies considerably. Sometimes an agent will simply be appointed to a position in a well-established company which can provide the appropriate opportunities. Other times, entire front companies can be established in order to provide false identities for agents. Examples include Air America, used by the CIA during the Vietnam War, and Brewster Jennings and Associates, used by the C_A in WMD investigations and made public as the result of the Plame affair. What is that? The Plame affair, known as the C_A leak scandal and Plamegate, was a political scandal that revolved around journalist Robert Novak's public identification of Valerie Plame as a covert C_agency officer in 2003. In 2002, Plame wrote a memo to her superiors in which she expressed hesitation in recommending her husband, former diplomat Joseph C. Wilson, to the C_A for a mission to Niger to investigate claims that IRAQ had arranged to purchase and import uranium from the country, but stated that he may be in a position to assist after President W. stated that Saddam Hussein recently sought significant quantities of uranium from Africa during the run-up to the 2003 INVASIONOFIRAQ. Wilson published a July 2003 op-ed in the NYT IMES, stating his doubts during the mission that any such transaction with the IRAQ had taken place. A week after Wilson's op-ed was published, Novak published a column which mentioned claims from 2 senior administration officials that Plame had been the one to suggest sending her husband. Novak had learned of Plame's employment, which was classified information from State Department official Richard Armitage. David Korn and others suggested that Armitage and other officials had leaked the information as political retribution for Wilson's article. David Corn is an American political journalist and author. He is the Washington, D.C. bureau chief for Mother Jones and perhaps best known as a cable television commentator. He has previously been the Washington editor for The Nation and appeared regularly on Fox News, MSDNC, National Public Radio, and Blogging Heads TV, opposite various other media personalities. Corn appeared on Fox News more than 60 times, according to a tally by PolitiFact.com, before becoming a frequent commentator on MSDNC. As a result of his prominence from his cable television appearances, he has garnered as much as $12,000 for appearances and speeches for addressing such topics as what's right with the left and what's wrong with the right and what's the state of the American news media. He is also a regular attendee of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and he is a long-standing member of the Gridiron Club. And that looks like fucking, oh my God, Austin Steinbart.